Did you see that Biden speech at Morehouse College?
No.
It's a black college, and they gave him an honorary degree. It's where MLK went.
This is when?
Just this past weekend. So they gave him an honorary degree, and he did, gave a speech. And first of all, the fact that they're giving an honorary degree to Joe Biden, who's like, I mean, the list of racist comments that guy has made is as long as Santa's scroll, but okay, fine. So they got him to speak there. They made him feel good about himself. And then, do we have it, you guys? I think we have a bit of a soundbite of him, or we're pulling it over. But it was the most pandering, absurd picture of blacks in America and the present day and America's relation to our black population. It was absolutely disgusting. It was like he was trying to stir up racial hatred right there live, to the point where a couple of the black students turned their backs on him, which was pretty extraordinary. And he does it all the time, right? I'll show you the soundbite as soon as you get it cued. But
Democrats,
this is not unusual.
Democrats should be asking themselves, why does Trump each election do better, not worse, with minorities and immigrants? Not worse, better. Did better in 2020 than 2016 and seems to be doing better this time. That's a question Democrats really need to look in the mirror and ask themselves. And with the immigrants, I think I know the answer. I'll save them the trouble. Immigrants don't like it that the left seems to have this unrelenting negativity toward the country that these immigrants work so hard to get here.
Good point.
They really worked hard to get here. And when Trump says, "Oh, the shithole," I think a lot of them are going, yeah, you're fucking right, it's a shithole where I came from. Why do you think I got on the ocean on a raft or walked 1,000 miles? Because I was living in paradise? There are places that are shitty in this world, and the immigrants know it. And it's not corny or conservative to say that to acknowledge that you're lucky if you're living in this country at this moment in history.
Yeah. Well, it was a different message at Morehouse. Here it is. Watch.
You started college just as George Floyd was murdered, and there was a reckoning on race. It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. And most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure? Well, that's my commitment to you, to show you democracy, democracy, democracy is still the way. If black men are being killed in the street, we bear witness. For me, that means to call out the poison of white supremacy, to root out systemic racism. I stood up for George Floyd's family to help create a country. We don't need to have that talk with your son or grandson as they get pulled over.
Oh, joy. That's his vision of life as a black man in America.
Yeah, it's anachronistic.
Right. See the one guy popping out from the back. It was almost like he was like, what'd you just say?
And it's not that there isn't still racism in this country, of course, and racist, just as there will always be criminals, there will always be racists, and we should always be mindful of that and do what we can to call it out. But it's a very different country than it was even 10 years ago. And to be telling black students that you have to be 10 times better to get ahead, that's anachronistic. That's not the case.